Hello there, metalheads, and welcome to Metal Verbalizers podcast. Today we got a good one for you because today me, Erik, is going to interview Lassi from the band Memoira. Welcome to Metal Verbalizers podcast. How are you doing?
Uh, Thanks for having me. First of all, I'm doing great. It's a nice Sunday morning,
Yes.
actually day here in Finland, and we're doing great. Thank
Yeah. Awesome. And we're gonna get straight into it. I think that we're gonna start from the beginning and
Yeah,
why don't you do a small little presentation of yourself, like your name, what do you do for the band, etc., etc.
sure. My name is Lassi N. I am the keyboardist of the band called Memoira. We are playing sort of symphonic metal, melodic metal. I think uh, we've been around since 2007. Had like three full-length albums and a couple of singles done. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, awesome. What is it about music that really made you want to become a musician?
Oh, that's a good question. I think some of it comes from my dad's side of the family is really into music and arts and love a lot of that. And my dad plays guitar and stuff like that. And he's really into music. And of course, when we got to a certain age, a friend of mine bought a guitar and wanted to start a band. So from there, I think it all started when your friend has an idea or something crazy that he wants to do, and you want to be part of it. So I think that was more for me. For it was like that.
Yeah, cool. Uh, During this time, do you have any special influences that have come up?
Well, yeah, uh, I think my personal influences maybe I like Dimo Borgir, Camelot, Nightwish, of course, and a lot of dramatic metal. I think
Awesome.
be like
That's how we like
metal
it.
bands that have tell stories. I think that's my thing, and when I'm drawn to them, Dream There, of
Yeah,
course, a lot of progressive stuff,
yeah,
and basically that's it.
yeah, cool. If we were going to go a little bit more into Memoira, how
Yeah,
did you guys meet, and what was it that made it become a band?
uh, we had a previous band called Serene
Okay,
before Memoira. Uh, uh, at a certain point, we decided that we would take a little bit heavier approach. It was a natural thing because all of us like metal. We changed vocalists, and then we decided to make that a whole another band. And so it was like in 2007, after one show, that we decided, like, hey, let's go for all for it for the metal, and that started it all, I think.
I guess that ties in a little bit into my next question. Actually, what was it obvious that you were going for that symphonic route, or have you had other genres in consideration?
Yeah, well, we were part of Serene. The band was more about alternative stuff and pop stuff, and the band sounded more like Gathering, and we were kind of drifting to that like kind of symphonic style. So it came out naturally over time. So we had these kind of influences that were like symphonic stuff. So
Yeah, cool. But what was the genre of that first band?
that's a good question because if there's a definitive genre for the band, I think it was more like rock meets pop meets
Okay,
alternative or
yeah,
something like that.
a little
There
mix.
were like there there was like metal influences here and there, but they were not so like not so polished like nowadays.
Yeah.
We are completely full metal. So
Yeah, cool. It is a little bit like myself. I am primarily a
yeah,
rock fan.
yeah,
That good old hard rock.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, if we're talking a little bit about that Memoria, when you did that switch, what was it that made you wanna call it Memoira?
Well, actually, it was just like we wanted to change the whole concept. We wanted to change everything, and it happened to that we threw out names into a hat, and we just pulled one out that just seemed that oh that sounds good. Memoir sounds good.
Yeah,
It
cool.
had something to do with memories.
Yeah,
It had something to do. I don't know. We all like it,
yeah.
so it really stuck
Well,
with us.
it
So
is a great name because I've talked about that with other bands as well. I think it was Aerodyne, an interview that I did earlier,
yeah,
where we talked about that. You want a name that is short, snappy, and rememberable.
yeah,
And I think that Memoira is absolutely one of those names, which is
yeah,
short. It's not too long. It's just one
yeah.
word. And that's hard to come up with
True.
today because many of those one word names are already taken.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I can't even remember who came up with it
Yeah.
because it was just literally we pulled out some names from the hat, and it just it resonated. So it was really something that
Yeah.
okay, that sounds good. Let's go with that.
Yeah, cool. But my next question would have been if there is a special meaning behind Memoira.
Well, I guess we found out later that it had like this kind of like it's memoir. I
Yeah,
think it's
okay.
French.
Yeah.
I think the name
These
is
are
French.
memories or
So
whatever it
yeah,
means.
like
Yeah, cool.
when you're writing down a memoir,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I mean,
okay.
like
Like a
it's
diary
like this,
thing.
yeah, diary thing or writing down
Cool.
memories or something like that. Yeah,
I guess that makes sense. Memory,
true.
memoir, sounds kind of the same. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. When you make new music, is there any particular thing that gets you inspired? Where do you get all the inspiration from?
Well, it could be movies that I watch. There could be something. Of course, other music helps. If I
Yeah.
listen to something, ba- uh, pretty much new music always helps. If if you get interested and excited about something new and you
Yeah.
hear it and go, okay, I want to do something like that too. So um, it can come out like from anywhere and at any point. I there's like a couple of nights that I woke up in the middle of the night. I had to write something down because otherwise I don't remember
Yeah, I know the feeling.
yeah,
I play
something
guitar myself, so
yeah,
I definitely know the feeling when you just get
yeah,
that idea and like, damn, I gotta record that real quick,
yeah,
and
yeah, true,
damn, I gotta get that down before it
yeah,
like disappears from the mind.
yeah.
But how does it work when you write new music? Is it just a few people in the band that does the writing, or is it the whole band that comes together and do the writing together?
Well, recently we have done that. I do some bits and bits there and there, make some a rough demo out of it, the whole idea, and I present
Hmm?
the demo to other guys, and then we sit down. Like example, this weekend we had a demo session
Hmm?
that we I came with the guys. We gave sit down and sat down and took a listen to all the rough cuts, and everybody was throwing ideas how to improve them, and from there
Yeah.
it goes to I think we will be rearranging and doing some changes to it to these demos, and then they get pretty much ready
Yeah,
after that.
cool. I read about when I made the original episode about you that you like a lot of storytelling in your music,
Yeah.
which I think it is awesome. Is there like a special theme that you like to write about?
Well, well, I've been doing a lot of research whenever me or when Annika writes stuff down. Uh, we do a lot of research to books, movies, and stuff like that. And pretty much when we find like a good story to write about and or make something out of it, then it's like when
Yeah,
it's same with the music. When you get inspired by something, it really clicks. And there have been a lot of like Phantom Insomnium. It's about
mm,
Charles Dickens' Christmas Story.
yeah,
So there's like a lot of books and movies and stuff out there that I get really inspired from. And of course, there's going to be I'm always have been interested in Finnish cultural stories.
mm,
So there's also that kind of stuff that I like to write about. And also there is also a lot of like things in life that we
yeah,
write about.
yeah. That's cool. Um, like I've mentioned in our main episode as well, Carnival of Creation is
Yeah,
one of my absolute favorites from you guys.
that's cool.
Can you
That's
talk a
great.
little bit more about like the theme for the album and what is the song with the same name about?
Well, let's start from the song. Well, actually, the song is about the birth of music. Like, whenever it was like whoever thought about the music first. I think how long it goes back. So the history of music is so rich, and it goes all the way back to the Babylon's
Hmm?
ages and to ancient Egypt and the first civilization. So I brought that from there, and also the inspiration that we all get when we write music,
Yeah,
where it comes from, and the place where it comes from. And I
yeah,
try to implement that idea into that song, and I think it really turned out great. It's a whole, it's a big epic song, and I think it really represented nicely the whole album when we
yeah,
did that track. And the whole album actually is a combination of songs, but the whole carnival of creation and all that kind of creation. But when we create some art, or whether it be music or painting or something,
yeah.
that creation part is what I like to thrive on because it's so
Yeah.
much fun.
I can
So I
totally
think,
understand that.
yeah, I think that's what the whole album is all about. It's not a conceptual album, but it has that kind of concept here and
Yeah.
there. You hear it.
Is that a thing that you do in Memoira where you have like a set theme for the whole album, or is it very like different between the songs?
Well, I think it's more about the songs because sometimes we record, like Dawn of Time, we recorded that for our comeback.
Yeah.
We had a little break during the 2014 and 2018, and Dawn of Time was just like, let's try this one and how it affects the audience,
Hmm?
who will remember us, and who will get to know us for the first time. So it
Yeah.
was like that kind of a situation. But it was also a great opening track for the album. So it's like this the whole journey from the comeback to the whole to the releasing of the album is like full circle right there.
Hmm.
So I think I think we go always like song first, but I would definitely want to make an conceptual album at some point.
Yeah.
I think,
You just gotta find that idea that works for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there is plenty of stories
Yeah,
that
sure.
I want to tell. Yeah,
Absolutely. Uh, what we talked a little bit about that. You talked a little bit about that comeback that you had after that
Yeah,
little break. And that. What would you say is the experience of bringing up a band in today's age compared to like the old ages in 80s and 90s and that sort of stuff?
you mean like what has changed?
Yeah.
Well, the
Or
whole game was changed.
are there any like special challenges that are now that aren't
Yeah,
weren't back in the days?
sure. Like 2014, the social media wasn't like that blown up back then. I think there were people more into Spotify. Wasn't like that big back then.
No.
But come like 4 years later, it totally had
Yeah.
changed the game in music industry,
I don't even
and
know
you
if I
had to
knew.
relearn a bunch of stuff, like relearn how to do like a promo promotional stuff. Like you
Yeah.
had to go full on to social media and do that, and of course you had to like Spotify was the main thing that you would aim your whole thing. So it was like you had to relearn everything that you had learned like
Yeah.
back then. So
Uh,
that was really a challenge.
yeah. Like you said, Spotify, for example, I don't even know if I knew what Spotify was back in 2014.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I can't remember much, but yeah, we had a couple of bands during that break that like did some Spotify stuff and put out some stuff to Spotify, but it wasn't. It was really like it wasn't that big back then. I think for my uh, recollection, but still, it was the period that it started to grow,
yeah.
and everybody had to change their game.
I really think it was there around 14, 15, there somewhere
Yeah,
that Spotify really took off
yeah,
and really blew up. And
that's right.
I totally understand why. It's easy accessible music, and I'm a
Yeah,
victim of Spotify as well, especially when doing this podcast. It's so easy just to
yeah,
find new bands and have it listen on their albums and all of that stuff.
true.
Is there anything that you would say make it easier today? We talked a little bit about social media and that sort of stuff. Is there any other things that makes it easier to get a band up and running today?
Well, as we were talking about social media,
Yeah,
uh, everybody could get on board and find new bands. That's easier now.
yeah,
Back in the day, you had to watch like some MTV and find out some new bands from there, or listen to radios or stuff like that. There is like thousands new bands all over
yeah,
the world, and that you can discover from Spotify, from YouTube, from whatever you use,
yeah,
and that's it. But at the same time, it's really easy to drown into that mixture of all the styles and genres. So
yeah,
it's a double-edged sword. I would think
yeah,
it's a really it's really easy to get your music out there. That is one thing that
yeah,
it has really helped for a lot of like bands nowadays, and also the amount of home studios has blown up like
yeah,
so much. Like you can make something from your bedroom and present it to the world. So
yeah.
everything is a lot easier nowadays.
Yeah, well, that's basically what I do. How do you get around when you are going on your shows and on tours? What struggles do you see there?
Um, well, we are a band that has a lot of members in different towns,
Yeah.
so that is some somewhat difficult, I think, from time to time. But actually, well, we most of us live in the West Coast, Finland,
Hmm?
so it's easier to get all the West Coast guys in one van and Annika lives in the center of Finland. So
Yeah.
we try to meet somewhere in the middle and get the towns from there, or just we get to the rest of the guys get to a van and drive to the town, and
Yeah.
Annika travels with by train or something to the town where the show is. Um, we have been talking about some what kind of um, um possibilities there are to get us to travel more together. So
Yeah.
it's still under construction, I would say.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. Are you doing any shows outside of Finland as of right now?
Not this year, I think.
Okay.
We were planning a European tour. I think it's somewhere around next year, hopefully,
Yeah.
but nothing has been set in stone. So there is still a hope that we get to things sorted out for next year,
Yeah.
but we have to hold our fingers crossed.
Obviously. What struggles would you say there is when going across the border and outside
Well,
into Europe?
yeah, travel expenses, of course.
Mm.
It's always pricey to go a lot of places outside Finland, and
Yeah.
of course, there's uh, the booking is also tough for us Finns, I think. But if you find some people who are like who would like to have a Finnish metal band to play at their venue, and you get some other bands that could travel with you, that's always much more like much more fun, and of course it's more I would say
Yeah.
it's not so expensive. You can
It's
the
always good.
expenses.
It's always good when you can go together,
Yeah,
several people,
yeah,
and share the expenses. Obviously,
yeah. That's true. Yeah,
this is something that I usually ask the bands because this is a part of what metal verbalizers are to
yeah.
show how this show the reality behind everything when you go on tour and all of that stuff. And like many people think that being in a band is all about living the high life and full of parties and
Oh
stuff.
yes,
Kind of far from the truth, maybe. What would you
yeah.
say?
And of course you have to think about that is true. That is true. Absolutely true. That
Yeah,
everything that thinks that you're living the rockstar life,
yeah,
which is far from the truth. And they never think about when you consider when you go to have a show, how much
yeah,
expenses that costs, and how many people are working there.
yeah,
Like if you talk about band plus front of house guys, lighting guys, the roadies, the list goes on and on. So there is always like so many people working
yeah,
backstage and and busting their asses off to
yeah,
get that one show done, and people don't seem to realize that.
yeah. Well, the only people that the audience are seeing really is the band and then the
Yeah,
guards that protect the band. That's
yeah,
really the
that is
only people that the audience are seeing, and
yeah,
that's kind of why we started our concept tour stories as well, to have the bands come on and tell stories about what actually happens on the
yeah.
road.
That is actually a really good
Yeah,
thing.
and
And I think when the COVID happened, people started to notice that how much it takes
yeah,
for the industry and how many people work in the industry if they paid attention to a lot of things that was written about how like people don't have any work left when and how many businesses were like bankrupt
mm,
during the COVID. Like a lot of like businesses here in Finland went bankrupt because there was no
Yeah.
places to hold any shows or festivals or anything like that.
Yeah, the
So people
industry
started
really
to
took a
notice.
beating.
Yeah, and we still see the effects from that.
Yeah. I can totally understand that. That everything is a little bit drawn out. And then there are still some people that have a little bit of a fear for this virus. I don't know if fear is the right word, but caution
Yeah,
maybe is a better word.
yeah,
Uh, so I can totally understand that there are some aftershocks, if you could call it
yeah.
that. But would you say, to talk a little bit about the more cheerful thing, does
Of
Memoira
course,
as a band have a dream venue to perform at?
that's a good question. Uh, what would I say? Um, I think there is well, in Finland, there's of course those big arenas that you wanted to maybe one day have a show.
Yeah,
But worldwide, I think somewhere, well, Wembley. There's of course
Wembley
Wembley Arena.
always a classic.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden. Hey, why not?
Can never go wrong with
Uh,
that, can you?
yeah, Budokan in Japan. There's a lot of.
Yeah,
List goes on and on.
yeah. There are loads of great venues to play at.
I
Uh,
think right now we're focusing getting our asses somewhere around Europe,
yeah,
no matter what. We want that to happen because it's also if you want to make it in Finland by playing female fronted metal, you have to be something in like in Europe or in the US.
yeah,
So some bands like female fronted bands go from Europe to Finland to get success. That's
yeah.
just it.
Well, I guess we have Battle Beast as a Finnish band that has
Yeah,
done great.
yeah, they have done. Yeah,
I've seen them live twice, I believe. Once in Barcelona, and then one time up in Sweden in Falun
yeah,
on the Sabaton Open Air.
nice.
Yeah, that great
That's a
festival.
big, great show.
Uh,
There's two great bands right there.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Do you have a favorite venue that you have performed at so far?
Hmm. Well. Porispero festival here in Pori,
Hmm?
where we live. Our own festival here.
Yeah,
That was really nice. That was really that was a highlight for us all. Um, there's a lot of great venues here in Finland.
yeah,
Uh, I think much of those are in the Helsinki area, but I think that they're mostly clubs.
yeah,
But if there is a bigger club with a bigger stage or like that, it's I'm all for it.
yeah.
I always love to play in the big stages.
I remember Jocke Brodén from Sabaton, as we mentioned.
Yeah,
He mentioned at some point that he loved playing clubs just because you get so
yeah,
close to the audience.
yeah. When you get to play to big crowds and festival gigs and that, I think you tend to miss like the whole club scene and
Yeah,
playing in front of people so close to them. Uh,
yeah,
I think if we ever get to play to big crowds, I should. I think we would love to play to little small clubs as well. So
yeah.
it's
Yeah, to
it's
get that,
two
like,
different worlds, I think.
yeah, for sure. Uh, if we're when we're talking about these shows, some bands and artists have these kind of pre-show rituals. Does
Yeah.
anybody in Memoira have any of these like pre-show rituals to get you in the right mood for the show?
No, Our drummer Kimo does the ritual warm-ups, but
Yeah.
nothing special. I don't think. Of course, before we hit the stage, we get together and do something prepping, but
Yeah.
not,
The most important
nothing
part.
much. We
Yeah.
try to relax most of the time and get ourselves ready for the show, but
Save your
nothing. But
energy for the show. Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, for sure. This is an interesting question. Do you have like
yeah.
any question that you've never been asked in an interview that you would have loved to be asked?
Hmm, interesting question. Right? Yeah. Um. Oh God, it's so sudden.
Yeah.
Um. I don't know. Well, what would be the question to ask? Hmm. I don't. I got nothing right here.
Hmm?
Nothing comes to mind,
Yeah.
really.
Well, during this time when I've done research for your band and all of that stuff, I've had a little bit of a scroll on your Facebook page where I found a post from 10th of February, I think it was, where you talked
Okay.
a little bit about you guys taking some time off the stage and to do some demo track. And you mentioned it
Yeah.
earlier as well that you've been this weekend doing some
Yeah.
demoing.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can talk about that? What we can expect there?
Um. We were. I think we were planning an earlier release, but I think it just not happening. I
Yeah.
think we'll be releasing some new stuff around um, after summer.
Okay.
We really want to take really cautious steps with this because um, really right now we are in no rush and we just love to take the moment.
Yeah.
We love to work these songs as long as we can, and for for better or worse.
Yeah.
But
Well,
to
as you
give the
should.
people like the best product we can give. So
Better quality than quantity, right?
yeah,
Yeah, for
that is
sure.
true. That is true. And there is gonna be some special surprises. I think I'm
Yeah.
not allowed to tell you now.
Yeah, I saw that you
I
had
would
some
like
special
to tell you
surprises.
everything, but I just can't. I just can't. So
Yeah, I
we
totally
have to
understand.
wait.
Can you tell us anything about where we can expect to know more about this?
I think we will be doing uh, some kind of press release during
Okay.
the summer.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
But there is no set date.
maybe earlier,
Yeah.
but I think that we will be taking the whole summer situation like off and work on these songs. But somewhere around summer, we will be letting you guys know more about what we
Cool.
are doing.
I guess everybody is gonna have to follow your social media and all of that stuff to
Indeed, yeah,
stay updated.
yeah, that is true.
But we're going actually towards the end right now,
Yeah,
and I only have two questions left really, and
sure.
the most important one maybe we have talked a little bit about it, but what is next for Memoira?
We would like to get those new songs done. How many there will be? I
Yeah,
think we will be doing like regular release, a single per what would I say? In 3 month cycles, we will be doing single
cool.
in 3 months, and single after that, and single after that. I think, but hey, you never know what might
Yeah,
happen. But this is our plan right now. We want to make the best out of the music and material that we have right now, and just I think the rest of the year we will be touring somewhere.
yeah.
Not know if we can, if I can, can really say much more about it. But
Yeah.
small baby steps forward with the releases.
Once again, everybody is gonna have to follow your social media to stay tuned and
Yes,
stay updated so they don't miss anything.
yeah, that
But
is
yeah,
true.
as a final thing, I'm gonna turn the spotlight to you, and you're gonna be getting like take 1 or 2 minutes or so to promote whatever you want about the band
Thank you.
and what you are doing. So the stage is
Sure.
yours.
Uh, all for all the fans, for all the listeners of the podcast. Stay tuned for whatever we will be doing on this the rest of 2023. Um, there will be new music. We will guarantee that. There will be some surprises. So stay tuned. Listen to Metal Verbalizers podcast, and also stay tuned for whatever we post on the social media. Thank you
Yeah, cool.
and goodbye.
Maybe we will have you guys back for a Tour Stories episode or something.
Sure, of course.
Yeah,
We would love that.
we'll set that up when the time
Yeah,
comes.
yeah. Hey, I would like to remind you there is another Spotify account for Memoira,
Okay, cool.
which has the Memories, Tragedies, Masquerades album
Okay,
that you
cool.
were. Yeah, you. I remember that you were looking for it from Spotify. You didn't
Yeah.
found it. There is also like another Memoira account
Okay,
that has
cool.
the album. Yeah,
Then I'm gonna have to check that out.
yeah, sure, of
Yeah.
course.
But anyways, that's all I had. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having us, and have a great 2023.
Same to you.
Thank you.